players. Has she gone or is she here? Kathleen Kennedy's employment status is queer.
What are you doing?
Adjusting your breasts. You fainted and they shifted all out of whack. There.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do not come. 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 Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
It's really ready to go. Okay, Cicely! Okay, Cicely! Okay, Cicely! Take me by the hand, take me by the hand. Okay, Cicely! Take me by the hand, take me by the hand. Okay, Cicely! He, him, they, them. He, him, they, them. Some people just call me Fluffy. What the fuck is he wearing? It's not Halloween. Look, it's sizzling. Oh my God, have I been mad? Oh my God, like that. Hey darling, you can smile more. That's what we fucking do. Fuck off! Ooh, take me by the hand. Ooh, Mr. Ocean Man. Ooh, take me by the hand. Ooh, Mr. Ocean Man. Yeah, she is all gangrenous. That's cute, you massive fucking soy cock. He, him, they, them. Superficial bollocks. He, him, they, them. Spider monkey fucker. Some people just call me Fluffy. Holy shit. Yard, 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 yard. It's Captain Gay. Yes, of course it's Captain Gay. Yard, 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 yard. It's really ready to go. You're some Hollywood horse bitch. Kitty fuck. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, look, it's sizzling. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, I'm gonna make wide your main balls. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, oh my God, like that. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, beat him into submission. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, yada 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 yada. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, you got me. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, so fucking crazy. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, fuck off. Fire, fire, big pants flyer. One of them. So that went well. Let's move on. She's like, it's so. Oh look, what a coincidence. God damn, I hate this thing. I can't say the word tampon.
I am not gay.
There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off, fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what?
Fucking pronouns! I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us. Current fucking day! Fuck off! We can't see past our own fucking reflection. That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda. Twat waffle! That's all you fucking are! Twat waffle! Fuck off! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Cause that's all we fucking know! Cause we're boring! We're so fucking boring! You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! Fuck your immersion! Guess what? Fucking pronouns! You take everything we love and you just can't help! Shovel! You are dog shit! Fucking crap! Ideology into everything! Every single sundry fucking thing! Hey everyone, welcome to Afternoon Tea with us. I'm your host. As always, as from Heel versus Babyface, how y'all doing? Hey, how you doing? Here, come here, come here. Who's a good boy? Who's a good guy? How y'all doing, everybody? There's some of you who thought Bet Az isn't going to have a voice today. Not after yesterday. Not after Party Animals. You do not understand. You underestimate the power of my voice. Because trust me, it is powerful. Kind of like Batwoman when a costume literally falls out of the sky. It is time to be powerful. Sorry, it's just drugs. Don't worry about it. How y'all doing? It's wonderful. Sunday, the 15th of October, halfway through the month. Already just a couple of weeks until spooky night. Just less than a couple of weeks until the Friday Night Tights Halloween special. The last couple of years, we've donned costumes for the Halloween show. That will be the case again this year. I will, however, not reveal, but I will tell you that this year, on the Friday Night Tights Halloween special, there is a theme. There is a theme to our costumes. That's all I'm going to say until Gary wants to reveal what that theme is.
it's stum. And I put out a tweet a week or so ago saying, I have ordered my costume. However, I did get a email notification to say that your costume will arrive on Saturday, the 28th of October, which is the day after the Friday Night Tights Halloween special. So anywho, I did some shenanigans, some jiggery pokery, and I did manage to secure the same costume at a different place, and it's arrived. It's arrived. So the planned costume that was looking in potential jeopardy is no longer in jeopardy. And I will be kitted out on Friday Night Tights on October the 27th, is it? Let me just check. Boobies. Yes. Friday, October the 27th, in my costume. I know what Ryan's is. I know what Gary's is. Because I know the theme. But I will say, and you know me, I'm not one for hyperbole. I will say one thing. So I'm pretty tired. I've been up late. I will say one thing. You will not be disappointed. At the very least, you will not be disappointed at the theme. In actual fact, I think Gary needs to announce what it is, because I think it will get you excited. I think the theme, thematically, I think the theme will get you excited. Things are falling off the desk. Should we see what fell off the desk? Was it the clippers? No, they're still there. Was it the scissors? No, the scissors are still there. Was it the drugs? No, the drugs are still there. Was it the plate that you just used to eat some hot cross buns? No, that's still there. Was it the kitchen knife you used to open up letters? No, that's still there. Was it the garden gloves that you have just on your desk in case you need to garden? No, they're still there. Duh. Was it the Phillips head screwdriver that you have just in case of all kinds of shenanigans? Of course not. It's still here. Was it the earbuds in case you wanted to clean your ears out because, you know, you can't? No, it's there, for goodness sake. Was it the files? Was it the files that fell off? No, the files are still here. They're safe and sound. What are you talking about, for goodness sake? Was it the remote? Was it the remote for the light behind me? No, that's there. See, I've just turned it on. Grave. Come on, people. Was it the brown? Was it the, God damn it, I forgot, tape. The tape for, you know, the people that you kidnap, the hookers, and no, the tape's still there. It's fine. Was it the beard brush? Was it the beard brush that fell off? You know, the beard brush which keeps everything nice and tight like tiger. No, it's still here, for goodness sake. Was it the $1 bill? The $1 bill that is just on the desk. The $1 bill that's just hovering around for some reason. I don't know. Of course not. It's still there, for goodness sake. Why would it be that way? Is it the Xbox pad? No, the Xbox pad's still here. It hasn't fallen off. How's an Xbox pad fall off, for goodness sake? Is it the tracking device that you put on your girlfriends to make sure that they are? No, it's still here, for good. Wait a minute. If this is here, then where the fuck is... God damn it, Leroy! Is it the Lego heads that I have all attached for some reason that's on my deck? No! It's not the Lego heads. The Lego heads are still here. Is it the makeup and just in case you have a breakout and you just need to cover something? No, that's still here. It's still here, for goodness sake. Is it the water bottle full of water that you might need to drink during the episode? Is it the John Cena Peacemaker hot toy with a falcon, an eagle, something? I didn't watch the show. I thought it's fucking shit from the trailers. No, John Cena is still screaming how much he loves the Chinese Communist Party. Look at him. I love the Chinese Republican Party. Republican Party. Wait a minute. Was that some sort of Freudian? Oh my God. Was it the bags of Lego, VIP Lego? No, they're still here. They're safe. So what was it? What was it that fell off the desk? That's just this cable. It was just this cable. It doesn't even work. Doesn't even work. I don't know why it's still. I don't know why I haven't thrown it into the bin. Here, bin. Nah! It goes. In it goes. In it goes. There we go. Was it the GI, the 3 packs of GI Joe Steel Core soldiers? Huh? Oh no. They're all here. But do you know what else is? Oh, was it the Alex Ross Starfire cover? Alex Ross, artist supreme, artist of Kingdom Come. One of the greatest stories. Is it the greatest story? I don't know. Ever told. I don't know. Personal favorites and all that sort of stuff. But look at that. Alex Ross Starfire cover. I think I'm going to get that slabbed. Absolutely gorgeous. Starfire, sexy lady, lovely lady, great Titan. Alex Ross, unbelievable artist. Legendary. Remember when we had legendary people within the comic book industry? We still do, as. Yes, they're the ones from fucking 20 years ago, 30 years ago that were legendary. Where's the new batch of legendary? And later, we will be talking Batman Year 2. Batman Year 2, by the way, because once upon a time, there used to just be 2 Batman books. Detective Comics, Hello, and Batman. And it wasn't until, oh my goodness me, it wasn't until the end of the 80s or 1990 that the first new Batman book in 60 odd years came out, and it was Legends of the Dark Knight. Now, of course, they're a dime a dozen. You had Shadow of the Bat, you had Gothams. We've had all sorts, Chronicles, Batman and Robin, all sorts. But once upon a time, there was only Detective Comics and Batman. So where does Batman Year 2 fit in terms of the Batman timeline? Well, believe it or not, and I think one of the reasons why Batman Year 2 doesn't get the love that it probably does deserve, more love. It's still pretty beloved, but why isn't held up there as as one of the works is because this actually came out in Detective Comics pretty much as soon as Batman Year One had finished in Batman. I think Batman Year One was what? 403 to 407? 403, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 403 to 406. I think Batman Year One was. Frank Miller, Mazzucchelli. And because Year One was such an incredible, groundbreaking, seminal piece of work, which is still referenced today, then that this followed straight on for it. But there was still so much hype around Year One that Year Two got a little bit lost. It got a little bit lost. A little bit lost. So if it had come out, because Year Three, Batman Year Three didn't come out for another 3 years or something. And that was in the Batman books. So you had Year One, then immediately it went into Detective Comics Year Two, and then there was like a 3-year wait until Year Three. Not that I'm saying that Year Three should have carried on, because it shouldn't have. What I'm saying is that we should have had, hey, Kara, how you doing, sweetheart? We should have had Batman Year One. Then it should have been about a year and a half later, Batman Year Two. I think that would have been better, because the Reaper was an interesting character. The Reaper was a bit of a mirror of Batman. We'll go into it. We will go. Excuse me, my voice. I'm only kidding. My voice is fine. I was a little bit worried last night at one point that I might have blown out my vocal cords. Legalize out of here. But look, come on, we've got to address this immediately. Come on now. Come on now. Look at that. Legalize adulthood with $100. Never been much of a DC guy. Hold on, I've got to get the book by the looks. Okay, I got it. Never been much of a DC guy, but I can't wait to see as Year Two, and that is for the bankers. I also, from yesterday's stream, need to add £5 into that as well, and legalize adulthood. Boinky boo, in it goes, the 5 and then the hundo. Thank you so much, dude. And Kara, I PayPal'd you the $50. Raytor yesterday was exceedingly generous. He did $100 super chat, and he said because Kara, we're playing Party Animals, Mr. Porkchop, whose birthday it was yesterday. Kara and myself, we were playing Party Animals. If you're like, where is it, Az? I can't find it on the channel. It will be going up on the gaming channel. It will be going up on the gaming channel soon, uncut, unedited, like me. It'll be going up, uncut, unedited, on there. It's 2 hours of absolute. Insanity is the only way that I can describe it. 2 hours of utter and absolute insanity. But Raytor super chat $100, and he said, because her channel isn't, her gaming girl YouTube channel isn't monetized yet, can you share it with her? So I have sent that to you, Kara. So thank you, Legalize Adulthood, you lovely saucisson. Over there, unopened, is my Zack Snyder's Justice League Batman in tactical outfit, in tactical costume. Isn't that just a re-release though? Because they did release Batman in a tactical costume years ago for the Justice League hot toy. Correct. However, as you know, Zack Snyder works off a different saturation palette. So that one is slightly different, slightly darker on the armors. The silver bat symbol more prevalent. It has a different base. It has a parademon base. Batman standing on a defeated parademon. There's that. I do have Batman Dark Victory. I've actually got it out at the moment because I've also got The Long Halloween out because I want to read The Long Halloween again before Halloween because maybe because you know I might just be planning ahead. Maybe in 2 weeks' time on October the 29th, a Halloween special of Afternoon Tea with Az, maybe we'll be talking Batman The Long Halloween. Ooh-wee! Definitely an ooey moment. What should we discuss next week? What comic should we discuss next week? I mean, you might not like this discussion. We'll see. We'll see. But ooh. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's actually a panel as well, you know. It's actually a panel. Batman Hush. Death in the Family. Ooh. That's an inch. Yeah, I mean, Death in the Family is another 4-parter. Batman Year 2 4-parter. Ooh. When am I getting back to Lords of the Fallen? I'll be completely 100 with you. I have been playing Lords of the Fallen off stream. You saw me defeat a big boss, the first big boss in Lords of the Fallen. I have since defeated another 1, 2, 3, 4. I have defeated at least another 4 bosses. And I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not gonna bullshit you. One of them, I did call on assistance. The others, I did not. Because I don't think that you actually could. I think there are bosses that are, when I say mini bosses, I don't think they are bosses to the level of the boss that we fought the first time. I think there's like big bosses, and then I think there's smaller bosses. But I will do another Lords of the Fallen stream, and I probably will do some farming, so I'll take you through. Hans broke the prenup. I'll probably take you through some of the areas that I did, because there's been some good areas, but a couple of those bosses were easy. Well, I mean, they still killed me. But like the second boss took me 4 attempts, and I actually had it down to that much health on attempt number 2. So I really should have killed it on the second attempt. But I died, and then I fucked up the next couple, and I hold on. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Let me get into the properties. Let me go to configure video, camera controls, focus, off. Zoom in. Zoom out. Zoom in. That's much better. Beautiful teeth. Look at that dental work that I've had recently. Gotta get them whitened. They're a little They're a little coffee stained. Little coffee stained, but I'm gonna have them whitened. Gonna have them whitened. So we'll see. We'll see how they we'll see when. Mum's eye is getting better and better. She's getting the white back in her eye again. She's in good spirits. She says thank you to everybody who's wished her well. So yeah, thank you for all the new Frasier is god awful. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god, I can't do anymore. 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 Frasier, the original Frasier TV show comedy is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I haven't checked out the new one. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll check it out and potentially do a video. Potentially do a video talking about the original series, which I think is one of the greatest comedies of all time. The original series of Frasier. Boobs. My initial reservations about the show, because when I was a kid, like most kids, I used to watch Cheers. We used to have Cheers late night on a Friday night on Channel 4, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, UK residents, but I think Cheers was on Channel 4. And of course, Dr. Frasier Crane was a recurring character in Cheers. And so when Cheers came to an end, and when they announced that it wasn't on BBC Two. When they announced that Kelsey Grammer was going to get his own Frasier TV series, oh, Lilith, I would have fucking destroyed her. One of those, hoity-toity, but she's filth. Absolute filth. Anyway, irrelevant. Well, it's not irrelevant at all, but for this discussion, let's put that to one side. So when it was announced that he was going to get his own spin-off, Frasier, you were kind of like, oof. Cheers, wonderful show, incredible characters. Ted Danson was just so good, But they all were, Norm, Cliff, Woody, of course, Woody Harrelson. So you were concerned that they were just. I remember we're talking. When did Frasier first come out? Late 80s, early 90s? You were sort of concerned that, they're just trying to cash in. It'll never be as good as Cheers. And then when Niles was shown, early 90s, 93, when they first showed off Niles, and I'm just like, it's just Frasier again. It's just another Frasier. This is come on. They've just made his brother exactly like his. How's this going to be funny? And then I watched it and I was just like, holy shit. Holy shit. Diane was great. But yeah, you watch Frasier and it's just like, no, they've absolutely nailed this. They've nailed it. And how Niles just became such an incredible character as well, in his own right, was, oh, man. David, whatever he's called. And one of the writers of Frasier was, I think there's a chap called Dave Angel. is it Dave Angel? And he was actually on a plane on the 11th of September 2001. A plane which didn't land on the airport. So Dave, I think it's Dave Angel was tragically killed in. He was a passenger on one of the planes which hit the World Trade Center. So that was a heck of a sad thing. That obviously, I mean, that day in itself. Dave Angel was a character on the Fast Show. Something Angel, was it Dave Angel? Something Angel. Maybe I am thinking Fast Show. But yeah, the show Frasier just was absolutely superb. Dave Angel, Eco Warrior. Yeah, we got Fast Show. Yeah. Fast Show fans here. But yeah, so when it was announced that Frasier was coming back, then you get worried. Why do you get worried? What's the first warning sign? The first warning sign that it's current day. That's the first warning sign. Never mind. Oh, they're just bringing out an old IP, whatever. I don't know what you want to call it. Trying to relive the glory days of a beloved character again. You know, we saw the horses from Sex and the City brought back. There's no originality anymore. Hey, let's bring back this. Let's bring back that. So, I am concerned. I was concerned. I'll give it. The father was great. He's unfortunately passed away now. IRL. Which I imagine they will reference in the show. But yes, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Look, the best thing that you can do is just give it a go. Willow Will just PayPal'd 50 quid, £50. Happy birthday, Mark the Mr. Porkchop. This is for the fund that we totally aren't adding to, and it doesn't exist. That must be the Tifa fund. For the Tifa 1-to-1. Not happening at all, though. Bought one more of your shirts in case your rebranding gets rid of the current styles. Anyway, take care and have fun. Yes, the stuff that's on Teespring is going to go soon. All of that stuff's going to go soon. And there's going to be a whole new line of merch coming out soon with the rebranded heel versus babyface logo. And I now have 2 silverback designs. So there's going to be silverback merch coming out. I'm gonna let next week I'm gonna let you vote. I'm gonna let you vote on both designs, and I want you to vote which design you want the charity to be set up on. Because all the sales from that, all the profit, I have to say profit, folks, to just cover everything, because of course when you sell some, let's say the t-shirt's £25, just argument's sake, £25. I would only get a cut of that. The person that sells it would get a cut, etc., etc. So let's say out of the £25, I get £15 profit. Let's just say that. That is what would go to the charity. Okay. So I won't be making anything on those t-shirts. Nothing. Zilch. So I'll put it up for you to vote which of the designs you would like the charity t-shirt merchandise to be set up on. And all of those designs, whether it be t-shirts, hoodies, hats, whatever, all the merch that will belong to that specific image will go to charity. Okay? And again, I will make goose egg on those. However, on the other ones, I will make the Maya. Okay. let's just carry on. Will, thank you so much indeed. More. Thank you so much indeed. I read the word more and then just decided to say it out loud. You know, I could get that one in one Tifa for, you know, research purposes. Have it in the corner, you know, put it in a pose because they are posable, you know. You can get the legs around the ears and everything. You know, get it posed. Leg up. I saw a Vara video yesterday. There's is it So Toys? Or one of the third-party toy companies is doing an Ashley, a 1 in 6 Ashley from Resident Evil. Here we go. Let me here we go. Yeah. Is it? No, it's not that one. No, not that one. No. Not that one. No, not that one. Let's go find the one that here we go. Here we go. The other one is in stock. Not that one. This one. Here we go. So let's have a look. Let's have a little look at this. Let's have a little look at this first. So apparently, people are getting the big mad. By people, I mean people who have no life, who are miserable, terminally online, probably depressed, never had sex in their life, never understood love in their life, never understood friendship, have never felt the warm touch of another human being, are unhappy, have been unhappy, will always be unhappy, and will die unhappy. I think I covered that reasonably well. So this is SW. Oh, this is SW Toys. They did SW Toys did a good Batman Hush. They did a couple of good Batman 1 in 6s. So this is Ashley from Resident Evil. This is their third party Ashley. It's called Missing Senorita, which is a bit of a, because they can't obviously call it Ashley because they don't have the license. This is a naughty third party. So they have to, you know, make a couple of little adjustments here and there. But here's where it goes. Here's where it goes all scary. So we got Ashley got different portraits from different parts of the game. She's got the barrel that she sits on when Leon goes down to the shooting range. It does look good. It does look good. But she also has, because this is a Phison body. If you don't know what a Phison body is, a Phison body is a body with seamless. There's no joints. Well, you don't see the joints because there's a metal exoskeleton and then the plastic is put on top. So you can bend the metal exoskeleton. If I get John Cena out for the moment. Now, this isn't a Phison body. This is specifically designed by Hot Toys. However, on the John Cena, you can see that this is actually a seamless body. See, no visible ball joint. We're so used to seeing visible ball joints, but no. So the exoskeleton is inside, and then this has a sort of a ratchet. It clicks. It's kind of like got a ratchet joint, which is great. You can't see him. You can't see John Cena. God damn it, John. People can't see you. They need to see you. So I know that, and this isn't obviously going to focus because I've turned the focus off. But you can see clearly that, right? Seamless is becoming the big thing now. Endoskeleton, thank you. Darth Maul, thank you for correcting me. And Mooney, thank you. And everybody who just corrected me. Endoskeleton, not exo. Exo is on the outside. Endo is on the inside. I stand corrected. But thank you. I do appreciate you guys. So yes, it's got a metal endoskeleton, not exoskeleton. I love you. I do love you, chat. Thank you. So this is a Phison body. There's a company called Phison that make seamless bodies for third-party just for anyone really. So this will be a Phison body, which is good quality, by the way. Phison's a good quality. But look, they've ripped her skirt, they've ripped her tights, and they've ripped her top. Now, because this will be a Phison body, and because these are fabric clothes, it also means you can take them off. Because you have to put this one on, you have to take this one off, of course. And as you can see, she's a little bit chilly. She's a little bit chilly because Phison bodies do have nipples. They have nipples. So if you want to put Ashley into this costume, then you have to take the other stuff off, put this on, and of course, she will be. The potential is you could, cloth off, show Bob's cloth off, and apparently this is getting Puritans absolutely distraught. How dare you sexualize this young, attractive lady who's a fictional character who is in her early 20s? Who's in her early 20s? How dare you? That's disgusting. You need to be a miserable like us for the rest of your life. And I don't get it. Don't buy it then. I mean, the people who are all complaining, none of them are ever going to buy this. None of them. The biggest reason is none of them can afford it because they're broke. Because they're miserable people on the internet that just complain. They're broke. So that's the big reason why they can't. But even if they were fortunate enough to possess the funds to purchase it, they would never buy anything like this. They would never buy anything like this. You see, this is what separates you and I. You and I from them, by the way, not you and I. This is what separates you and I from them, because we love this stuff, We love our different franchises, whether it be Resident Evil, whether it be Robin Hood. Robin Hood's not a franchise. I know it's a folk hero, but you know what I'm talking about. Transformers, Robin Hood, Star Trek, Star Wars, go on, etc., etc. And if we do have the available funds, if we are fortunate enough to have the disposable income and we are so inclined, and by so inclined, I mean, let's just use Luigi. You're going to be the example. Let's just say Luigi here has some disposable income. He's paid his bills, the internet bill, the electricity bill. He's paid his bills. And Luigi says, do you know what? I would really like a Batman statue. I don't have a Batman statue. It'd be really cool to get a Batman statue. Paid my bills. And I do have some disposable income. Luigi might be so inclined as to start to put some money aside, depending on the cost of the statue. Or maybe start off small. I'll get myself a 1 in 6. I'll get myself a 1 in 6 figure of Batman. And then maybe one day we'll... That's what you and I, for the most part, if we had the opportunity, would do. Now, obviously, some people, even when they pay their bills, they still need their money for whatever it may be, travel, family, blah, blah, blah. Don't have the room to put stuff like that up. But if we did, we would be disposed to do so, inclined to do so. The people who are complaining would never do that. Never. So what I'm trying to say is, fuck them. Right, let's move on. Let's move on from that. I think I'm going to get that Ashley figure, by the way, because A, I think it looks great. And I would put it, not trying to be boring, by the way, sorry. Not trying to be boring, but as you know, I'm a colossal Resident Evil fan. I would have her in that. I would have her either in that or maybe when she takes the jacket off. But I think I'd be pretty... I think I'd like to have her with the jacket on. I thought this was a really good redesign of Ashley from the first game. And because I don't think Dam's Toys are going to do one, at least not in the foreseeable future. And this is a pretty damn good Ashley figure. I'm thinking, yeah. I think I'm gonna put a pre-order in for that. Then I'm gonna get our tits out. Right. Okay, let's get into, first of all, let's get into the supers from last week's Real BBC. And then after that, we'll have some year 2 discussion. Boobs. And then we'll get into the remaining super chats from today. And yes, Sunday Fun Day, we will be finishing Labyrinth before we move on to a new game. So we will be finishing off Labyrinth because that was a great time last weekend. That was a very fun stream. Jimba Jabba with a $5 says, it was recently confirmed that the Lord of the Rings Gollum apology letter was written by AI without the staff's knowledge. Correct. This is what the developers say. By the way, the developers were the ones who made the shitty game. No, the reason why I say it like that is I do find it funny that the developers, some of the developers on the game come out and say, hey, you know that apology for the dog shit game which we actually made? That was done by Chat GDP. Can you believe it? Yes, because you made a dog shit game with the lowest of low efforts imaginable. It wasn't the Metal Gear Gollum that you thought it was going to be. Magnum North with a $2 says, where's Al Gore? Great documentary. Mm-hmm. Drew Outstanding in field with a $20 says, Mauler, thank you for the Ahsoka Buffy Futurama video. I was in a coma to stop the spread of a neuromuscular illness. I'm alive, but very damaged and trying to make sense of the mental roller coaster. The video helped. Hail. Wow, Drew. Well, soon, buddy. Austin Mayhem with a $5. Nice to see Disney still hasn't learned how to tell stories properly. A whole lot of nothing happened in both Loki and Ahsoka. Love your videos, Az. Thank you, Austin. Yeah, I actually spoke to Paul Chato because Paul Chato and I did the review for the first episode of Loki. And then pretty much nothing happened in Loki episode 2. So I spoke to Paul yesterday, and I said to Paul, we might as well just come back for the end and then just do a video about, right, we watched the first episode, the video's up. Now we're going to discuss the rest of the series, because nothing apparently really, from people who have had the screeners sent to them, 4 episodes out of 6, they say nothing happens. Nothing happens until right at the end of the 4th episode. So we're just going to do 2 videos on Loki. The first episode, which we've already done, is out. And actually, if you haven't seen that, I would recommend that you see it, because Paul and I actually go into some interesting topics of conversation around construction of storytelling, stuff like that. So it's an interesting listen, and Paul's great. And yeah, the second video and the final video is just going to be a wrap up of the series. Also, nobody gives a fuck about Loki. And that's a fact. The Penguinator with a £5 says preferred pronouns, faux nouns. Preferred pronouns equal faux nouns. Hail the fellowship. Correct. I mean, call yourself what you want. I don't care. Call yourself what you want. I'm not playing your game, though. I'm not playing your game. Call yourself the Queen of fucking Sheba. Call yourself Beep and Bop and Zip and Zap and whatever. That's great. Have a great time. I mean, you're mentally fucking ill, but have a great time. Have fun doing it. I'm not playing the game. Not playing the game. You need to respect my pronouns. No. No, I don't. I really don't. First and foremost, because respect is earned, not demanded. Only WWE wrestling heels demand respect. And that's why they're heels. Respect is earned. You screeching and wailing at me to call you Bimp Bop. No. I have zero respect for you, if that's any help. Big TBO with a $10. What's up, gents? I was strolling through TD Disney last month and took a lap through the Lego store. Oof. I observed that all Star Wars kits were from the original trilogy and Mando. Not a single sequel trilogy set. Nobody wants that shit. I'm just sorry. The reason why I paused is I was trying to think at the same time. And I'm a man and I can't do that. I can't multitask. They did do... Actually, I don't. I'm legitimately struggling. I think they have done... They did initially do a couple of sequel trilogy sets. But, yeah, they don't sell. There was a thing a couple of years back. Well, you know when Toys R Us went out of business? There was multiple reasons, but, you know, being dumped with licenses that nobody was buying was a contributing factor, for sure. But it came out... Yeah, they did do a Falcon with the square. Yeah. But it came out that retailers were saying that Star Trek, Star Wars, these toys aren't selling. Nobody's buying them. Nobody's buying them. And that's why companies like Eagle Moss gone out of business. That's a... Toys R Us out of business. You know, Star Wars toys used to be huge. The merchandise around Star Wars used to be huge. Just think, you created new Disney Star Wars. Let's call it what it properly is. You created new Disney Star Wars, and nobody's buying your fucking shit. Nobody's buying the merchandise, toys. Nobody. They're being dumped onto bargain shelves in no time. Oh, I mean, I ain't shedding no tears. I ain't shedding no tears at all. I mean, to me, there's only 3 Star Wars films. Slenderman with a €2.50 says, just a reminder for Az, watch the IT crowd. I will at some point. I promise I will at some point. Bushin Ryu Cat with a $5 says, Mauler Gary, Az, please say what was your favorite comic series and that one story event from Image Comics. Mine, Wetwork, and Team 7. What was your favorite comic series in that one story event from Image Comics? I don't buy a lot of Image Comics. I only buy Mark Millar's stuff, really. Oh, well, I mean, Mark Millar stuff is the only Image stuff that I bought. I have, however, picked up the first issue of the new Transformers series because they're going G1. So I want to see how that turns out. But I only bought my Image Comics, Reborn, etc. All the Mark Millar stuff is because Mark Millar. That's it. I'm literally buying the writer. I'm not buying the company. You know what I mean? And so if Mark Millar went off and worked for Billy Bob Thornton Comics, then I would buy from Billy Bob Thornton Comics the Mark Millar stuff. Simple as that. My favorite comic series. I mean, it's so tough because one day it might be this, maybe one day it might be that. But one series that I have read to death over and over and over again, and you've heard me say this many times, is Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come might be the greatest story that I have personally ever read. I think, Kingdom Come, it annoys me. I'm waiting for Big Game to finish before I read it. I wait for all the miniseries to be finished, then I read them. I don't read them part by part. So I've still got to wait for 4 and 5 of Big Game. I do have 1, 2, 3, but I still got to wait for 4 and 5 of Big Game before reading it. Yeah, Kingdom Come, I think, is my own personal greatest story I've read. It really is. It's just, and I can't believe that when they gave Zack Snyder DC, he draws off so many different. Zack Snyder annoyed the shit out of me. I think he's visually very interesting to watch. And I do think the Watchmen movie is great. I do. I think it's fantastic. But I cannot believe that Zack Snyder didn't want to adapt Kingdom Come, because his vision was all over the place. He was taking stuff from The Dark Knight Returns, Death of Superman, Kingdom Come. He was like taking little snippets from all over the fucking, Death of... And it was just such a mess. The Snyderverse was such a fucking mess. But he might have, if he was just adapting Kingdom Come, he might. This is a might, but he might have been able to do something. He might have butchered it. I mean, I think Nolan would be the person to do Kingdom Come. Christopher Nolan. I think somebody like Christopher Nolan would probably nail Kingdom Come to put it on the screen. And you could put it on screen as a three movie series. You really could. Because of you could incorporate some of the side story. You really could. But if you haven't read Kingdom Come, for Christ's sake, what are you doing? No, I haven't crashed. I was just holding the pose. Doc Fortune with a $5. Always in motion is the future. Last Jedi. The fuck you up, you will shut. Sophie with a 11 penises. Hail, Gary. Don't know if you read my super chat days ago. Mihawk is coming to PeruCon just when I am traveling abroad. I want to cry. Also, sorry for the insta spamming. Hey, Hayaz and Morley, love you guys too. Thank you, Sophie. The Joker's voice with the $5. Hail to my to 3 of my YouTube inspirations. Thank you, 3, for taking the lead and giving me the armor against the Filoniatics that are the Disney Star Wars fans. They're not fans. They're not fans. They're sycophants. There's a difference between a fan and a sycophant, right? It is Kingdom Come is written by Mark Waid, but I believe that Alex Ross also had quite a lot of influence and say in how the story developed, as well as providing the absolutely unbelievable visuals inside. But Mark Waid, look, Mark Waid might be a fucking little Hitler. He might be a fucking insane mental person. But back in the 90s, Mark Waid was a really good writer. And sometimes, folks, you have to separate the crazy that we know from the actual content. And you can't really knock a lot of his writing in the 90s. Now, yes, did it get progressively worse? Sure. It did get progressively worse. Let me just get rid of this fucking weirdo. But in the 90s, he was writing Flash and some of the most fun Flash runs. But Kingdom Come was seminal work. It is seminal work. There's no other way to describe Kingdom Come. When you've read it, you'll understand. When you've read it, you'll understand. Magnum North with a $20 says the Wang Chopper mentality. Oh yeah, sorry, before I go into that. But there's a difference between a fan and a sycophant, okay? When you're a fan, you support something because you love the characters. You love the stories, the universe, the worlds, etc. However, that doesn't prevent you from being critical. So if a new bunch of creators come along and they start creating a load of shit, yeah, this is the most subtle analogy we've ever heard, then a fan, somebody who's protective of the characters, the world, the universes, will be critical and say, hey, what's going on? This is not the character, this is not the worlds, etc. A sycophant doesn't care. I would potentially argue that a sycophant is more interested in the company than the actual character. So I think your Filoni people are more sort of Disney Star Wars lovers, sycophants, than actual Star Wars lovers or whatever. Because they clearly don't care about storytelling. Ahsoka was one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not even kidding. I've seen some terrible shows. But the terrible shows that I've seen normally appear on a terrible station like CW. So you're expecting shit because it devolved into shit. But when you've got the franchises and the tools at your disposal that Disney does have, and you produce something like Ahsoka, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. Ashamed. Filoni should be fucking ashamed. He shouldn't be coming out parading himself like some sort of messianic figure, because he ain't. Filoni's not God. He's not even fucking a snail on the ground. Absolute dog shit writing, that Ahsoka series. Dog shit. And the actors had nothing to work with. Nothing. I can be critical and say that, apart from Ray Stevenson, virtually every character, if not every character in that show, was flatter than Sabine's chest. But to try and give the actors some credit, because I know Rosario Dawson's a great actress. I know that. Seen her in some wonderful stuff. So they have got nothing to get their teeth into. And that's got nothing because they haven't got good writing and they haven't got good direction. And they can't do anything with the material that they're given. Hey, Sabine, yeah, actress that plays Sabine. She could be a lovely woman in real life. I don't know. She could be. But her direction was act like a miserable cow for 6 or 8 episodes, whatever it was. Just act like a miserable fucking cow. Show no emotion, show no range, nothing. What do you do? What do you do with that? What do you do with that? What do you do with that? Hey, look. Hey, you can... Trolls can do all of it. I mean, this is a reverse troll, by the way. If you think this is a troll, this isn't a troll. This is a reverse troll. This is a super chat pretending to be a troll, but it's not being a troll because he put New Zealander. So you know it's not a troll. So thank you, Ty, for your $5. Appreciate you. Why does anyone care what this New Zealander's opinion? That's not a troll. That's a reverse troll. But I did I see one? Can I still get to it? There it is. No. Nah. I thought I saw. Oh well, yeah, never mind. So there you go. They're having a fun. They're just having a bit of fun. That's all. We're all allowed a bit of fun, aren't we? So you know, your Filoni fanatics. I guarantee you, your Filoni fanatics are using his older stuff as their primary reason for being what they are, i.e. the Clone Wars. Because you can't objectively look at Ahsoka and say it's any good. You can't. Objectively, you cannot. It is dog shit. And don't worry what social media people shout at you. They're nothing. They don't. Social media is not real. Twitter isn't real. It's not an indication of the real world by any stretch of the imagination. It really isn't. In actual fact, and I don't want to go too deep into this because, well, you'll know in a second. There has been stuff happening over the course of the last week or two. Very, very horrific stuff. Stuff which, for anybody on planet Earth who has any empathy whatsoever, is heartbreaking. And is disgusting, and is shocking, and is anger-inducing, and all of those things. Good people can't help but be disgusted by events. All I have seen on social media since those events started is 2 sets of vile people trying to turn it into why my side's better than your side. And I'm seeing, unfortunately, very few people just being empathetic to the situation and the plight of ordinary citizens. I've just seen the politicization of this, and I think both sides are scum. Scum. Very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. And I have spent much less time on TwitTwat over the course of the last couple of weeks because of this. I've tried to post much more fun things. Much more fun things. You know, pictures of my toys, statues, silly tweets. Oh, I know it's complicated, Sharkham. I know it's complicated. But that's just the point. A very complex situation is being reduced to I'm going to use this atrocity to push my side and the same on the other side. And I'm just like, just shut up, the lot of you. Just shut the fuck up, the lot of you, please. Please. So there you go. There you go. There you go. That's all I'll say on that. I have no take otherwise. Magnum North with a $20 says the Wang Chopper mentality has a lot of money behind it. Once a mental patient, always a mental patient. Unlimited money and destroying the family at the same time. Fuck Disney, dude. Fuck them. Fuck them. Let them rot. Let them rot. I think they're only now starting to realize how much damage they've actually done to their brand. Oh well. Oh well. These are all the tears that I'm shedding for Disney. Look. Look. Look, can you see them? Can you see? Apparently not. They're all the tears that I am shedding for Disney. That's yeah. Dad's Den of Pop Culture with the $5 says thanks to Az. I'm now hearing Dalek saying diversity, diversity, diversity. Salamander Man with a $5 says, what's up, fellas? Are y'all fans of newly crowned UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland? No. I don't follow UFC. Sorry, dude. Chris B with a $5. Legit think if you guys could get past his initial desire to race bait for a clip content, an interesting conversation could be had with Director X. No. No, it can't. Because the guy, all he's about is race baiting. That's it. He hasn't defended his show in any capacity whatsoever. He's just gone on to media, his friends, by the way, in media, and just cried racism, cried incel, white suprem. This guy doesn't want a conversation. He wants marketing. He wants attention. There's no conversation to be had with him. This is a guy who a year ago, when we came out and went, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. Robin Hood is being changed into a woman, black woman, blah, blah, blah. We've seen it all before. This was the guy who came out and said, I know what you mean. I know where you're coming from. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I'm going to be doing something different. And then when it comes out and it's dog shit, oh, the angry nerd community, he's full of shit. He's full of shit. He's a poser. He's an attention-seeking poser that's lived in an ivory fucking tower all his life, and he's never heard the word no. He's lived in a fucking world where everyone is yes, yes, yes. He's never heard no. He thinks his fucking shit smells like roses, and it doesn't. It stinks like everyone else's. There's no conversation to be had with these people. Yeah, I said these people. And by these people, I mean these fucking Hollywood. You are fucking Hollywood, bitch. Hollywood posers. They don't want conversation. They want capitulation. He doesn't want to have a conversation with somebody like me or Ryan or Disprue or whoever it may be. Do you know what they want? They want to come onto a stream and call you racist and this and that and the other. They want to be seen as the fucking martyr for their cause. I was contacted, and other people, I won't say who they were because that's up to them to say. I was contacted by Canadian television to do an interview. Hi, we've had Director X on, and Director X has done an interview about how you're all a bunch of fucking racist poopy pants. We would love to do a balanced story. Can we have a conversation? So I sent them the link to my direct video. Everything you need is in that video. Yeah. They replied, yeah. We've seen that video, but we want to get you on camera where we can edit or try and get some gotchas where we can try and take you out of context. We want to get you on camera. Can we do that, please? God, fuck off. Oh, fuck off. I get more videos on my fucking YouTube channel than that fucking Canadian TV show. I'm not even joking either. There's no conversation to be had. Right? I had an opportunity. I was in discussions with directors directly to have a conversation in private about his show. And the reason why I wanted it in private is because I don't want him on my show. I didn't want him in front of a camera where he could just go fucking rogue. The guy's a fucking millionaire. He doesn't give a shit about fucking destroying my channel or saying all kinds of shit. He don't give a fuck. He'd be seen as, like I said, as a martyr to the cause. But when you say to them, am I a conversation with you in private? Why private? Because private, they can't gain anything from it. And therefore, you're hoping that they can actually come from a legitimate position of good faith. So if Direct had actually wanted to have that conversation in private, I would have told him exactly why I think the show's bad. From the writing, to the editing, to the directing, to the characters, to the story, to the whole job lot. We could have had that conversation, right? But when you're having a conversation, you're trying to communicate with somebody in private about having a private conversation. And this is the same thing that which happened with the Act Man as well. We were bouncing things across in private, but the guy was actually doing something completely different in public. Again, he was making more videos about shitting on me because he's a fucking fake ass bitch as well. Fucking cowardly fucking Bethesda cocksucking whore. Because he knows which side his bread's buttered on. And he's a fake and a phony, just like the rest of these fucking bitches. So when you're having a conversation with somebody in private about a good faith discussion, and then they go in public and say, you're all a bunch of fucking racists, you're all a bunch of white incels. By the way, he's the one that's calling us white. He's the one that's calling us racist. He's the one that's made everything about color. He made it all about color the moment he fucking race changed, sex changed, gender changed, sexuality changed, I meant to say, the characters. So when you're having that conversation in private and then you go out in public and you call everyone a fucking racist and a fucking white incel, that to me says you've got no good faith. I have no trust in you. No trust. None. So if we had a private conversation, right? And I thought he's coming in that with good faith, and he records that private conversation and edits it to take it out of context. What if he does that? There's no faith. There's no trust. None. None. He blew it. He blew it. The guy is not able to accept criticism. His ego is so out of control. He's unable to accept criticism for what is objectively a pile of fucking dog shit. Now, people like myself and Disprue have been exceedingly generous in the fact that we've mocked it in a way to try and make it comical and entertaining. But if Disprue and I decided to take the humor out of it and just break it down, it would be eviscerated. Eviscerated. But you see, we're trying to do what the show isn't, and that's make it entertaining for you. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a video that you can watch, that you can have a good laugh and a giggle at, and hopefully get a little bit of fun and entertainment out of it, which is not what the show's fucking doing. So no, there isn't a good conversation to be had because the guy doesn't actually want a conversation. He wants validation. And he's come to the wrong place. I don't need a fucking bud or chum in Hollywood. I'm not looking for that. I don't need chums and buddies on the inside trying to butter you up so that they become immune to criticism. I'm not looking to be your fucking friend. I don't give a shit about you. I give a shit about my audience. I give a shit about the franchises which I love, the characters that I love. That's who I give a shit about. That's where my loyalty lies. Not to some fucking poser in fucking Hollywood with fucking millions of dollars in the bank, worked and done musical videos with all these celebrities, who's done storyboards for films and TV shows and all this kind of stuff, who's lived a very privileged and lucky life and fortunate life. And I'm not even going to say, I believe he's worked hard to get where he's at. You don't be lazy and get where you're at. But don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. You made a piece of shit. A piece of shit, which even in the heyday of fucking Stunning and Brave would have still been laughable. Because in the heyday of Stunning and Brave, motherfucker, I was laughing my dick off at Batwoman. Every day I wake up, I hear the same shit from the same boring people. Oh, you're sexists, you're racists, you're misogynists, you're bigots, you're homophobes, you're racists. Do you know what those words mean? Nothing. Nothing at all. They're words that are designed to say, I can't handle criticism. Stop ripping apart my dog shit. That's what those words are. They're meaningless. Meaningless. It's all deflection. All deflection. That's what it is. This white guy is taking the piss out of my absolute dog shit. Let's play the race card. You're boring. Fantastic Mr. Knox for the 5 Australians says Director X should just stick to making music videos. In making a TV series shows he's shite. Stick to what you know. Stick to what you know. Ploppy the jailer. Now, there's nothing wrong. Hey, look, no, actually, boobies. I'm going to walk that back a little bit. There's nothing wrong with taking a chance. There's nothing wrong with taking a chance. There's nothing wrong with going outside of your box, There's nothing wrong with trying new things, right? There's actually nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And I encourage people to actually do so. But the thing is, you have to be open to criticism. If I wrote a comic tomorrow and I released a comic, my comic wasn't very good, and it got heavily criticized because it wasn't that good. This isn't very good as. If the vast majority of people are telling me that, and I don't mean the shitheads on Twitter, I'm talking you, the people who it's meant to be for. If the majority of the channel is just like, yeah, we bought it as, but not the best thing I've ever written, okay? That is not the time for me to get defensive. That is not the time for me to go, oh, well, fuck you all then. No. That is the time where you actually should be like, sales are really low, and the feedback from it, and probably one of the reasons why this sales are low, is it's not very good. That's when you actually have to have some sort of self-awareness and self-reflection. Well, Director X just wants to turn around and go, no, the reason why nobody's watching the show in Canada is it's you. It's just a bunch of racists. Holy Jesus titty. Okay. Sure. Is it going to hurt the ego? Yes. Is it going to hurt inside? Yes. Is it nice being criticized for something that you've worked on? No. It can be uncomfortable. Of course it can. Not going to play that. But you also have to understand that if it's bad, it's bad. If it's bad, it's bad. See you later, Philly. Take care, buddy. So yeah, but when your ego is too high, when your ego is out of control, and when you're a piece of shit human being, because I wouldn't ever use something like race card or demographic. If I do something like that, you know I'm taking the piss. You know, if you know who I'm taking the piss. Are you know, I'm never going to turn around and go, Director X, you're culturally appropriating one of my folk heroes. I don't care. I think anyone from any country should be able to take any character and do whatever they want with it. However, then you're open to criticism. Then you are open to criticism. So I don't care that a Canadian is doing a show about a British folk hero. I don't care. I don't care. But you have to be open to criticism based off what you put out. Ploppy the Jailer with a £5 says, will you be watching Gen V? We got 15 minutes in and my wife said, what is this woke shit? Couldn't stand it any longer. Wonder if Az would explode. I already gave up on the boys. I've got no interest in Gen V. I gave up on the boys after season 2. Scotty with a $5 says, can't we have both? Enjoy the chuckles watching Az, Disbrew Drinker et al. Review this piece of shit show and create our own channels and add to the last of it. Yes, Scotty, we can. Did I hear anything from Caroline Dries about my criticisms of Batwoman? No. Do I think that Caroline Dries knew of my YouTube videos? I would be surprised if she did. I would be surprised if she did. Director X knew that the show had no traction, no marketing, no nothing. He knew that. And he's a piece of shit he's a piece of shit human being. So he knew that he could play things like the race card because he's a pathetic beta cuck. That's why. When somebody has to constantly project about man-ting, I think it's man-ting that he talks about, you ain't no man to start with. Is this what you talk to women about? You talk about watching adult, young adult television? Why? Hi, girl. I think you're sexy, and I'd like to strike up a conversation with you. Let's talk about Director X's Robin Hood TV show. Because I'm such a huge fan of Director X. Director X. The guy's fucking ego is out of control. In an industry of egotists. So this guy knew. He knew exactly what he was going to do with this show. He probably knew it was a pile of dog shit. He probably did. But he knew that if any criticism came in, he was just going to play the race card. He knew that. Because he's a fucking pathetic human being. But unfortunately for him, he didn't realize that we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck around these parts. We don't give a fuck. We've been called every name under the sun because people can't accept criticism. We've been called Istophobes for years now, and it's now become water off a duck's back. I've probably had more. Well, I know that I have. I've had more combined views on the videos I've done for Robin Hood than the show's had in 3 fucking episodes. Sledge with a $5. Gary would like to suggest you watch Stargate Atlantis first season. Only 5 seasons. That's a lot nowadays. And many characters from the original Stargate guest star. Boney Joseph with a 40 INRs. Gary, thoughts on Castlevania Nocturna? I think Gary would love it. Sophie with the 5 penises said, Gary, did you watch One Piece with the original Japanese voice actors? It's so good. No, he has. I'll answer that for him. No, he hasn't. Fantastic Mr. Knox with the 5 Australians said, I've been watching One Piece live action. Can't believe it's the same crew that made Cowboy Bebop up to 6 episodes and can't get off it. I enjoyed it. It was, I mean, I don't think it was the next coming of Christ, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good fun and I enjoyed it. I thought I gave it a solid 7.5 out of 10. That's a good solid 7.5. Not an IGN 7 out of 10. 5 being average, by the way, because that's how it should work, because that's what 5 means. Average. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's good. It's good and it's good fun. John Goats with a $10 says, well, since we have a room full of gamers, what are your favorite horror/Halloween games? Pumpkin Jack is a Halloween themed and pretty fun 3D platformer. You guys should check it out if you haven't. My favorite horror franchise is Resident Evil, Loved to Pieces, Silent Hill. First 4 games, love to pieces. Silent Hill, Resident Evil are my 2 favorite horror franchise video games. Movies. Mega Bren C with a €5 says, do Wizards of the Coast ever poll their paying customers to see if they're offended by Witch, Druid, etc.? Who are they doing this for? They're doing it for themselves. They're doing it so that their ESG score is raised up. They're doing it so that their peers can tell them that they're stunning and brave. They're doing it because they're mentally ill. A generation of mentally ill fucktards are coming out of education into employment, and they're fucking destroying everything with their retardation. MSG scores more like, be right. Jay Plays with a $5 says, while on the topic of Wizards of the Coast, they put typically in front of monster alignments, the tiptoe around everything like it's a minefield. Third party for the win. Yeah. Wokeness is a disease. It's a disease. And it's not just a disease, it's a cancer. And unfortunately, it's terminal. There is no cure. Well, cock. That might cure quite a few of the women. But it's broken people trying to project their own insecurities, their own brokenness, their own illness, psychopathy. It's them. It's them projecting it onto a beloved franchise, a beloved show. A lot of it is about power and control. That's what a lot of it is about. If you can get people riled up, if you can anger people, it doesn't matter the attention that they get. They feel as if they've done good. Because once upon a time, people who acted out were either ignored or punished. Now, acting out is almost celebrated. Well, it is celebrated in quite a lot of quarters. Once upon a time, we used to be told about what is good attention and bad attention. Having a tantrum to get attention is not good. That will get you nowhere. You will not be rewarded for that. But if you are good, well behaved, then that will get you attention. It will get you praise. It will get you thanks. It will get you rewards. But we're not taught that anymore. We're not taught that. The way that social media is designed to be so, chomping small bits, it's developed to cause arguments, not conversation. And because social media has now been active in a big way for 15 years or so, we have a whole generation brought up on argument, not even well-constructed argument, just slanging, insults, accusation, as opposed to conversation. Conversation is dead. Dead. And the best way to get attention through argument is by misbehaving, because there's very few people who can get attention, good attention, through argument. And of course, because social media, you hit a like, you hit a love heart, you hit an affirmation. Some broken people are looking at this and thinking I've done good. I said the thing which is acceptable in these fucking broken circles. I said, hey, I'm gonna say something. You better fucking listen to me, right? I'm gonna say it. And I don't give a shit who disagrees with me, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right now. Racism is bad. Like. Oh, thumbs up, like, love heart. Look, everybody loves my takes. Oh my God, I did good. Oh my God. We're raising a generation of retarded people. Racism's bad. Fucking hell. I never thought about that. Hold on, let me just think about it for a second. Give us a moment. I think you might be onto something. Albert Einstein's got nothing on you. Nothing. And then you get all your fucking weirdos who will get drawn algorithmically to that. You get all your fucking weirdos. So you end up with your echo chambers. And of course, if you transgress in the echo chamber, 90% of the echo chamber go, hey, this dude with a cock is a woman. And then the 10% of the echo chamber go, well, wait a minute. Wait, whoa. I'm a woman. Uterus, vagina, kitty bags. That chap with the penis. No, not really. Out of the echo chamber. Get out. Social pariah. So when there's the threat of being a social pariah, the cowards, the uneducated, they just go along. They go along with whatever lie is being told. They just go along with it. I don't want to be socially ostracized. So, yes, I will just say anything. I will agree with anything. Just don't throw me out. Don't live on the internet then. Live in the real fucking world. Form some actual relationships with people. Human people. Have some contact. Fall in love. The Emperor's New Clothes, Mudstar, very well said. The Emperor's New Clothes indeed. But you see, there's The Emperor's New Clothes is a parable, a tale, a cautionary tale from hundreds of years ago. Why are we talking about it today in 2023? Oh, yes. Because if you don't pay attention to history, you're doomed to repeat it. Doomed to repeat it. How many times have I said in recent years, you can watch The Prisoner from 1967, Patrick McGoohan, Robert Meyer Burnett. Love Robert Meyer Burnett. Robert, I love you. I miss you. We must just do a stream soon. Even if it's a Hot Toys special or just us together talking. We must do something soon. And you, George. George the Giant Slayer. Love you, George. And I do miss your smiley face. I miss your face. But Robert Meyer Burnett and I, we did a review on the whole series of The Prisoner. We did a discussion show, and then we went through all 17 episodes. One on my channel, one on Robert's channel, bounced it back and forth. Thematically, The Prisoner from 1967. If you watch that show today, you will be fucking scared out your mind. Scared? Why? Is it a horror film? No. It's not horror. Not horror at all. It's not. The show's not scary in the slightest. It's not meant to be scary. You will be petrified because thematically, you will be able to see every single solitary thing that show talks about today, right now, in front of us. How does this episode about being unneutral, about being cast out from society if you don't conform, how the fuck does that fit so well into social media today? Because it's thematically still there. That's why tales, parables, stories, that's why they're so prevalent today still. To quote Star Trek: The Next Generation, I want to say this. Here we go. I want to read this out. This is a line that Captain Jean-Luc Picard said to Lieutenant Worf at the end of The Drumhead, my personal favorite episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. I think The Drumhead was season 4, maybe season 5. But put it this way, The Drumhead came out in 1991. Before the internet, before social media, before any of that. Before cancel culture that we call it today. Let me just read you this line from the end of the episode. Mr. Worf, villains who twirl their mustaches are easy to spot. Those who clothe themselves in good deeds are well camouflaged. Still as prevalent today as it was when it came out then. Also, Deanna Troy's got an amazing set of... Anyway, CJ with a $5 says, would you consider having the Soska sisters currently writing for Rippaverse on the real BBC? I think it might be worthwhile to have them on when Yara comes out or Yara goes up for pre-order. I think it'd be worth reaching out to them then and having a chat. Stop, watch, and roll with a $5. Thank you for entertaining. Wonder if I could get a shout out from my favorite YouTubers. Shout out, stop, watch, and roll. J-Lock with a $2. Mel Gibson is worth the watch for the Continental. Ooh. Clown with a $5. When Star Wars started making everyone a Jedi is the equivalent of a participation trophy. Remember the days when we had good entertainment? I miss those days. It's still out there. It's just, you gotta really look for it now. Tricky with a $10 says, Hail as Gary and the Lord of Long. Gary, Crunchyroll has all seasons of One Piece anime, FYI. Yeah. The sad news is it's on Crunchyroll. Mr. Tickle Trunk with a 5 Canadian. Did Az ever watch the Max cartoon? No pressure. No, I didn't. Gary, thank you for pointing me towards the fan edit movie on YouTube/Odyssey. It was so good. And Mark McLaren with a £5 says, hi guys, did you see David Tennant sporting his Leave Trans Kids Alone, You Freaks t-shirt? Doctor Who is dead. Yes. David Tennant has allowed one of his children, I think one of his daughters, to call herself a they, them. Because Stunning and Brave. Stunning and God damn it. Hold on. So for the Transformers 40th anniversary, which is next year, 2024, 1984 is when it came out. They're re-releasing some of the original Transformer toys. But they're just nasty plastic. The original look, but there's no die cast. It's just nasty plastic. By the way, there's no such thing as trans kids. Right, move on. Let's move on. Let's have a. Time's a ticking. I've got 40 minutes left. Give or take. Give or take. I've got 40 minutes left. 1,335 people. God damn it, I love you. God damn it, I love you. Right. We're going to do it. Let's talk. Let's talk Batman Year 2. What is the story of Batman Year 2? And why is it such a great piece of work? Well, I mean, one of the reasons is that name there. Just FYI, McFarlane. Who doesn't just do some of the covers, but he also does the interiors. He does the interiors of 2, 3, 4. Not the interior of number 1, though. He does the interiors of 2, 3, 4. So, Batman Year 2 is about a Batman, a Bruce Wayne, and a Batman who's still coming to grips with who he is as a hero. He thinks he's found his sort of lane, but he's going to have things all turned on its head. And it all gets turned on its head by a villain, a vigilante. Let's say vigilante, called the Reaper. Now, the Reaper was a vigilante that was in Gotham City 20 years before Batman. And the vigilante and the Reaper would go around killing criminals. And the newly elected Commissioner James Gordon is on TV being interviewed about Batman and other things. And the media, the woman, the presenter, says people have called the demise of Gotham, the fall of Gotham into crime and the corruption in the police force, off the fact that the Reaper vanished 20 years ago. Yes, the Reaper, by the way, is the inspiration for Phantasm in Mask of the Phantasm. That is true. That is correct. So Reaper is like the OG version of Phantasm. Now then, let me get a good. Now there have been further iterations of him, but if I just go here, let me just bring this up so you got some sort of reference of what the Reaper looks like. This is what the Reaper looks like. Taller than Batman. This is a studded leather armor, and he's got gauntlets, scythe gauntlets, which also have guns in them as well. Guns come out. So that's what the Reaper looks like. So you can see the inspiration for the Phantasm from Mask of the Phantasm. So the Gordon stresses that no, you know, I know it's not the Reaper. It's not the Reaper stopping killing people that started this downward spiral. And I work with, you know, Batman works with us to rid Gotham of crime. And we've now got a way to call him, and the bat signal goes up. That is the first time that the bat signal is used in Gotham. In the meantime, Batman is fighting some low-level criminals in a house. And the low-level criminals in the house say to Batman, which is, and I do like this, they say to him, "We thought we were too small fry for you." And Batman's just like, "Oh no, no crime is small fry for me," and then kicks the shit out of them. So the story's main characters are obviously Batman Bruce Wayne, the Reaper, who is Judson Caspian, his daughter, Rachel Caspian, who Bruce falls in love with, and Dr. Leslie Tompkins, who is one of my favorite characters in Batman. And when they pushed her to one side in the comics, I was so annoyed because Batman has surrogate parents. To me, Batman's always had surrogate parents. Alfred is Bruce's surrogate father. And Dr. Leslie Tompkins is Batman's surrogate mother. They both act as conscience. They both act as like Jiminy Cricket. They act as his moral compass to keep him grounded. Like this is one of the reasons why I was so annoyed that that Tom King killed off Alfred. Fucking asshole. Is that Alfred is Batman's moral compass, particularly more so since Leslie Tompkins got pushed to one side. And so it's necessary that Alfred be there to challenge Bruce. And it's important and invaluable that Alfred be there to keep Bruce, because if Alfred's gone, then Bruce would become just solely Batman. He would devolve. He would just start to devolve. The Bruce Wayne persona would diminish in a literal sense and diminish in a societal sense. Bruce Wayne would vanish from the limelight. Once he had vanished from the limelight, he would just be Bruce Wayne. Yeah, Leslie Tompkins was in the Gotham TV series, but that was dog shit. Absolute dog shit. If you've read the Batman comics, it was absolute garbage. So Bruce is building the Wayne Tech Tower, that we've known from the comics, which is sort of like an up. Then there's a gap in the middle. Yeah. And so that's under construction. And he's building a penthouse at the top, which he wants Dr. Leslie Tompkins to move into. But she's like, "No, I'm not going to live in your penthouse ivory tower." And it's funny because Bruce actually ends up living in that penthouse for a long time. In the comics, in most of the Batman 300 run, 300 to 400, Bruce actually lives in his penthouse in Gotham, not Wayne Manor. he abandons Wayne Manor and he goes and lives in the penthouse. And then it was only once year one came about and Frank Miller and Mazzucchelli did Batman Year One that they pushed Bruce back into Wayne Manor. So there was a long period of time from the 70s through to the 80s / early 90s that Batman was actually living in his penthouse and not Wayne Manor. And so she introduces him to a young lady called Rachel Caspian. And Bruce is sort of a little bit thrown by this because he thinks he wants to be Batman, but then he meets this lady, Rachel Caspian, and he's kind of like her. And he says, "Can I see you again?" And she's like, "No." He's like, "Oh, sorry. I did. Do you have another boyfriend? I didn't realize." And she's like, "No, I don't. But I'm going to become a nun. I'm taking the oath, and I'm going to become a nun. And so I don't have time. I don't have. There's no way that we're going to start a relationship. So sorry." He's like, "Oh, okay." Rachel's father, Judson Caspian, returns to Gotham City after 20 years of being away. And suddenly the Reaper reappears on the streets of Gotham, and some criminals and some innocents find themselves killed in the crossfire. Because the Reaper's moral code is, if you are somebody who claims to be good or on the side of good, aka a policeman or something like that, and you are protecting a criminal, whether it be because you're transporting them or you're protecting them so they can go to trial, then you are as culpable as the criminal themselves. So he goes and kills some mob bosses, but he's also killing some police in the process who are either transporting them or etc. So Bruce is just like, Batman's just like, okay. Looks like this guy's actually back, because his first attacks have been centered in the actual location that the majority of the work of the Reaper initially happened 20 years ago. So I think this is actually the original Reaper. Fair enough. The deduction skills work. So Bruce goes up against the Reaper as Batman and kind of takes him a bit lightly. Takes him way too lightly, and the Reaper kicks the shit out of him. Absolutely kicks the shit out of him. And so Batman has to recover for a period of time, because he's been heavily injured. Leslie Tompkins and Alfred tend to him. And then when he's talking to Leslie says, can you, Alfred, can you tell Rachel that I'm not going to be able to meet her today because I got some other things to do. And Bruce sees this as an opportunity to see Rachel again. So he says, Alfred, don't worry, I'll deal with it. And he goes to meet Rachel as she's waiting for where Leslie used to be. And he turns up and he's doing his Bruce Wayne impression. He's doing his Bruce Wayne playboy. He's doing his, bit of an airhead Dipsy Bruce. Because that's the persona that he's crafted for Bruce, of course. And Rachel doesn't buy it. She doesn't buy it. She says, I know a bit about you, Bruce. I know about the hardship that you've been through with your parents and stuff. And this thing that you're doing, no, there is depth to you, and I don't for one moment believe that this superficial side that you're trying to show to me is you. And so Bruce actually takes that as a maybe this woman is not just attractive, but maybe this woman is somebody who I could fall in love with. She sees through me. She sees, she doesn't know that I'm Batman, but she sees through me. She sees that there's more to me than what I'm trying to display. She gets past the superficiality of it, and her code, her own morality is akin to his. So he actually ends up kissing her, and because they start a relationship, Rachel decides not to take the black. That wasn't meant to be that easy, to become a nun, because she and Bruce are falling in love. So they meet up for a meal. Rachel, her father, Judson, aka the Reaper, and Leslie Tompkins and Bruce. And you can see that a passage of time is going on in year 2. You have to understand that year 2, even though it's only 4 issues, is meant to span the year. It's a year-long arc. This specific story doesn't mean that other things aren't happening in the meantime, other criminals, other stuff. But this actual story itself is taking part over the year. So you know that a passage of time has gone and the relationship is developing. You also know that the Reaper is still killing. And the Reaper is killing prostitutes, vagrants, anyone that they deem to be a pox on society now. So the Bruce says to Gordon, he says, look, I got to do something, and you're not going to like it. But I promise you, I'm your friend, and I'll always be your friend. Trust me. And Bruce meets up with some of the Gotham mob bosses and says, look, we need to work together to take down the Reaper. And the mob boss is just like, you fucking Batman, dude. What who says you're not going to turn on us? He says, well, you don't. You don't. But our interests align. Because of the Reaper, you're being hunted down and killed. I can stop him. So we need to work together. But if we're going to work together, you got to get out of my way. So the mob say, well, we're going to give you a guy to help, okay? So he can keep an eye on you, but he's going to help you track down the Reaper, take out the Reaper. Who's the guy? Joseph Chill. Joseph Chill. And if you're thinking, who's Joe Chill? Joe Chill is the person who killed Martha and Thomas Wayne. And so Batman, because of his defeat at the hands of the Reaper, takes up arms. He literally takes up arms. He takes the gun that was dropped in the alleyway after his parents' murder. He takes the gun that Joe Chill used to kill his parents, and he's now armed with the gun. So Batman has this holster, and he's now carrying a gun as well. Because he knows that the Reaper's got body armor on, etc., etc. So Joe Chill uses his gun to kill people, and Joe's like, hey, I used to have a gun like that once upon a time. And Bruce is just like, fucking asshole. Whereas Batman's using the gun to disarm people, and he tries to prevent Joe from killing. But Joe gets away with killing a few mobsters to inverted commas save Batman. So they manage to work out that there's probably a mole or two in the police force that is feeding the Reaper information. That doesn't go any further, but it just sort of adds to the fact that there is still, even though Gordon is now commissioner, there's still corruption that goes on within the police force. Or there's still, I mean, depending on how you want to on a morality level, think about it, there are still people that think these criminals deserve death and not justice. That's a completely different argument for another time. So Bruce decides that he needs to make some radical decisions. I've been dating Rachel. I'm in love with Rachel. I want to marry her. And he takes her to a restaurant, Chinese restaurant, a nice one, not the one down the lane, the one that you go to. Get out of here. He goes to a fancy Chinese restaurant, and then after they've eaten, they bring the fortune cookies to the table. And Rachel opens up her fortune cookie, and it's got an engagement ring inside. And he's like, marry me. And she's like, okay. And then Bruce's fortune cookie says, you can run from your fate, but you can never hide from it. And you're like, ooh. So Bruce is now engaged to Rachel, but he realizes I cannot be Batman and be married to Rachel. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to quit being Batman. But I can't just quit being Batman and allow the person who killed my parents to live. So I'm going to kill Joseph Chill with the gun that he used to kill my parents with. I'm going to stop the Reaper. I'm going to kill Joe Chill with the gun. And then when I've done that, I'm going to retire. I'm going to marry Rachel. So he says to Rachel, he says, look, as Bruce, because she doesn't know he's Batman. He says, look, I've got to do something. And it's not good. And you won't like it. But I'll tell you this. When I've done it, I'm yours forever. I promise you that. And she's just like, you know, whatever it is you got to do, you got to do. But I believe you're a good man. Which kind of makes Bruce a little bit like, fuck. She has that morality as well. So Batman creeps into Joe Chill's apartment when Joe's asleep, puts the gun to Joe Chill's head, and he can't pull the trigger. He can't pull the trigger. He's not a murderer. He can't do it. So Joe wakes up and is like, fucking hell. Jesus, what are you doing here? Now, the Reaper, in the meantime, the Reaper actually infiltrated where the mob bosses were. Batman and the police tried to fight him off. Couldn't. It's too strong still. Batman had a much better fight against him, but circumstances dictated that the Reaper got away. But the Reaper didn't get away without fucking murdering pretty much every mob boss that was there. So now Joseph Chill, when he wakes up and he sees Batman there, he's like, fucking hell, mate. Batman's like, we've got, you know, we've got to sort something out, you and I. I gotta take you somewhere. And Joe Chill says, well, he says, okay. He says, but look, I'll just be honest with you. They wanted me to kill you. The mob bosses wanted me to kill you after we'd taken out the Reaper. But they're all dead. So I ain't going to get paid. So I ain't going to kill you. So, you know, fuck it. He's like, okay, that's fine. But I got to take you somewhere. Because he couldn't kill him in cold blood. But maybe he could work up to it. So he takes Joe Chill to Crime Alley. And he says, do you know where we are? He's just like, no, not really. He says, you murdered 2 people here 20 years ago. And he's like, right? How do you know? he says, and he pulls off his mask, because I'm their son. He's like, you? Because he recognizes Bruce Wayne. And then he sticks the gun back up to shoot Joe Chill. And as he's thinking about pulling the trigger, the gun and Joseph Chill's head goes. But it wasn't Bruce that pulled the trigger. It was the Reaper that killed Joe Chill. And now the Reaper knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne is engaged to his daughter. So Batman and the Reaper start to fight. And the Reaper says, let's go to Wayne Tower. Let's finish at Wayne Tower. One of us is going to live. One of us is going to die. So they both end up at the top of Wayne Tower, which is under construction, and they start fighting. And Bruce gets the better of the Reaper and knocks him over the edge, and the Reaper's holding on. Now, he wants to save the Reaper, but the Reaper says something to Bruce, to Batman. He says, and this is the bit which is sort of like, ooh. He says, I was wrong about you, Batman. He says, when I first fought you, I thought you were weak. I didn't think you had it in you to kill. I didn't think you had it in you to do what needed to be done to save Gotham. And after I saw you with Joe Chill, I was wrong. You are a killer. I can leave Gotham in your hands. And he plunges down to his death, falls off Wayne Tower to his death. And Bruce is sort of shaken by this, because would he have pulled the trigger and killed Joe Chill in Crime Alley? He doesn't know. He'll never know now, because that was taken from him. But because it's revealed that the Reaper was actually Judson Caspian, Rachel and her sense of morality, she can no longer marry Bruce because she feels that her family has blood on their hands and a penance needs to be made. And the penance in her eyes is her becoming the nun that she was going to become and renounce worldly desire, her own needs, her own desires. And so she says to Bruce, I'm going to take the oath because some sort of recompense must be made for my father's sins. And Bruce is like, I understand. I understand. And he leaves. Batman Year 2! It is great. It is great. So go check it out. Well, and it, I mean, that's up to you. It's up to you to decide. If you say, well, I don't think Bruce would have killed him. That's fine. That's fine. But some people might be like, maybe he would have. Maybe he would have. So that's for you. That's for you to decide. But it's a fantastic story. Next week, your homework is going to be, because there's no Super Chat Square Up, because Real BBC's on Gary's channel this week. This coming Sunday, next Sunday, Death in the Family. The death of Jason Todd. The death of Robin. We will go through Death in the Family. Pick it up on trade paper. Read it beforehand if you want to, or if you want story time with Az and just want to sit back and listen to me go through the story, we can do that as well. That's fine as well. But Batman Year 2, fantastic, fantastic story. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Right. I need to smash through the super chats from today. Because really, I need to get out of here ASAP. Fahrenheit Plus has been a Witcher for 16 months. Says, after missing last week and breaking many speed limits on the way home today, I made it on time for afternoon tea and can finally say something important. Hi, Az. Oh, hi. How you doing? Eddie Brock with a €2 fiddy says, will full video of Gary visiting you be out soon? No. No, it will not. That's personal time. Maybe some little snippets here and there, but no. We just really spent most of the time with each other, not recording. And if you want to see Gary and me together, then go watch that Real BBC where Gary is sat right there. Criggy has been a bard for 19 months. Thank you, Criggy. Stutters with a €5 says, bin the cable. So I did. It got binned. Then we had Legalize Adulthood's $100. Thank you so much indeed again for that Legalize Adulthood, dude. Boobs. Horny Alf has been a sorcerer for 10. As I had a blast watching you play Party Animals yesterday. All hail the Silverback. Any chance of playing the game again? Yes. We will definitely play Party Animals again very soon. Maybe even do a Sunday. Maybe even make it the first Sunday fun day after October. So the first one in November. But we'll play that again. Maybe even play it in the meantime with people. But it was very fun. D Bruzy with a $20 says, for the demonetization. I've missed a couple of weeks. The Loki review with Chater was great. Hope you figure out a regular show with him. Great banter. Also, that Party Animals stream was hilarious. It will be up on my gaming channel probably tomorrow. Luigi Scazzari with a €10 says, for the Mums Fund, thank you for making an example out of me. Pleasure. Thank you, Luigi. Legalize Adulthood with a $2 says, that's why I love Nestle Crunch. Boobs. Nestle Crunch. Oh, God. I haven't had one of them in donkey's years. They are filthy. I mean, filthy in a good way. Oh, my God. I want to destroy Nestle Crunch. And Legalize Adulthood again with a $5 says, it's only fair that ChatGPT write the apology letter since it designed and wrote the game too. Ayo! Probably did, actually. Ty Scott with a $5 says, why does someone care what this New Zealander's opinion? Exactly. Exactly. Piotr has become a member at the bard level. Thank you, Piotr. Serge Berengard with a 5 Canadian says, the situation isn't really complex to describe. Side A wants side B dead. Side B has to respond in order not to die. Well, it's a little bit more complex than that. But take a 610 with a $2. Director X will be ex-director after this show. Ayo! Patriotic Gestalt with a $5 says they should reboot I Dream of Jeannie. Oh, God. It would be a glorious train wreck. Well, it's a current day show, so it's always going to be a train wreck. Mark of Reality with a $2. Please don't let drunk 3PO have X on. He can do what he wants. He's a big boy. 6'4". Very big boy. Do what the fuck he wants. I mean, there might be a lot of pauses, but there you go. Kalioth with a $5. Director X is winning because we're talking about him. No, that's not true. For him to lose, his name needs not to be ever mentioned. It ruins attempt to spread his name. No. This is where you're wrong. This is where you're wrong. He's not winning because his show isn't being viewed. Last week's episode did 142,000, which was up 3,000 from episode 2. However, the demo went from 45,000 to 35,000. He's not talking to anybody that he wishes to talk to. Nobody. We're winning because on his desperate attempt to get clout, he gets clout through social media. He gets clout through mainstream media. He don't get no clout here. Sure, his name will be around for a few weeks or so while this is all going on. And then the moment it stops, his relevance dies. Whereas our shows, the videos that we've done, the streams that we've done, they've done phenomenally well. This has just been a great cathartic moment for us to just look at something and mock it mercilessly. And the more that it's mocked, and the more that the show is associated with being mocked, Director X's name gets attached to it more and more. So Director X suddenly becomes synonymous with garbage. We win. We win. I understand what you're trying to say. I'm not trying to dismiss what you say because I understand what you're trying to say. I think you're going down the avenue of any publicity is good publicity. Once upon a time, that used to be correct. But we're now living in the age of social media where publicity is everywhere and everything. From somebody's tweet to a YouTube video. So suddenly all publicity is good publicity no longer has any weight due to the saturation of online information. No. What will happen is he will just become synonymous with crap. I won't be surprised if we just see him return back to music videos and not hear, or storyboarding shows, not hear too much more about the guy again. Newcomb All has been a sorcerer for 8 months, is looking good as. Keep up the hard work. Thank you. Wooty Bear with a $25 says, you're a legend, Az. Thanks for all the content. I picked up 3 of MTG Doctor Who decks yesterday from my local game store. Not the Jodie Whittaker one. The art turned out great, much like the 40k decks. All love your way. Keep crushing. Thank you, Wooty Bear. Very cute name as well. King Oblivion with the $2. Will you be seeing Killers of the Flower Moon? Yes. Yes, I will. My friends want to go watch it. I want to go see it as well. So yes, I will. Angela Richter has been a member at the bard level for 41 months. Thank you. See you at the party, Richter. Darius White with a $20 says, howdy, Az Brown here. One of the things that all bad shows have in common, woke or not, is poor, weak, and inconsistent motives. For instance, what's Thrawn's motive? What the hell does he want and why? What's his plan? Well, if we had a TV show that might have gone to... I'll tell you what it was, Darius. Thrawn's plot was to have plot. Thrawn's plot was to have setup for next show. Because we're not talking about television anymore. We're talking about consuming content. That's all we're talking about now. The show had no thought in it whatsoever. It was set up for next show, which is set up for another show, which is set up for the show, which is going to set up the movie, which will now never be made. Consume. Shut up. Stop asking questions. We're just slopping like fucking school dinners on a fucking rainy day. Slopping the shit onto the streaming service. So you've got content. Don't you want content? Oh, it's just soul destroying, isn't it? EO with a 1 month sorcerer says recommend reading your old GCSE copy of Animal Farm. The ones laying around will have a greater meaning now. Yes. And 1984. Hey up, Comics Division. But you're right. Rabbit D. Megan has been a sorcerer for 25. Hi, Az and chat. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you, Megan. Hope you're having a great day too. Claire with a $50. 50 says keep fighting. I'll keep fighting. Thank you. Dinner Bells has been a sorcerer for 6 months. Says speaking of McFarlane, have you read any Spawn? Been meaning to for a while, but I haven't got around to it. Not a lot. I've read bits and bobs throughout the last 30 years. Not a lot. I was because you can because Spawn sold so well and they printed so many fucking copies of it. You can still pick up like a Spawn #1 for not that much, really. Not that much. So I was actually thinking really of potentially buying a run of Spawn comics. I like the idea of Spawn, you know. I like Todd McFarlane. So just thinking about it. Ty Scott with a $5 says, you're my favorite Kiwi. Thank you. Chuck Keyworth has been a sorcerer for 13 months. Yes, I was wondering when Bruce was going to kill Joe Chill. Thanks for the recommend. I enjoyed the hell out of this arc. There you go. Eddie Brock with a €2.50. Thoughts? Joe Chill reimagined as Joker in comics? No. No, the whole point of Joe Chill is that crime happens. Crime happens and can have a profound effect on anyone, from the poor to the stinking rich. Joe Chill is meant to represent the face of just mindless crime, mindless injustice. So no. I know that Tim Burton did it for the '89 Batman film, but he did it because he tried to fit it for his plot. But it in the comics, Joe Chill is who killed Bruce's parents, as it should be. Darius White with another $20 says, Brown here, as thanks for your review of Year 2. I've always stayed away from that story when originally published because of the cover art of Batman brandishing a handgun. You've helped me overcome that. Many thanks, bro. Yeah, the story's about revenge. It is about Bruce. Well, it starts off as Bruce not quite knowing his place as Batman, to the degree that he would renounce being Batman and have a married life, you know? But then it turns into one of what he thinks was justice turning into revenge, and then maybe understanding that revenge isn't vengeance necessarily. There's stuff to play with here, you know? And then, of course, it ends with that sort of ambiguous note of, am I, you know, do I have it in me to kill? Do I have the capacity to kill? Is that who I am? Well, we've seen Batman fleshed out since then and understand what he actually is. And for a young Bruce Wayne to have that, though, is pretty interesting. The only thing that they really got wrong with Year 2, by the way, because I have to bring this up because I'm a nerd. All throughout the Year 2 storyline, they have Batman with the yellow oval on his chest. Batman did not have the yellow oval on his chest to the end of year 3. In his first 3 years as Batman, it was just the black bat on the chest. Canonically. That's just me being a nerd. War Wizard with a $2 says, so was 3 Jokers worth a read? I have 3 Jokers downstairs. I have all 3 parts. I have all 3 covers of all 3 parts. I've yet to read it. And based off the recommend of it from Mark Millar, I need to read it. I do need to read it. But that's Jeff Johns, and Jeff Johns can write the shit out of a comic book. So it's something I have to read first. Lady Gravesmaster with a $5. How you doing? Permanent story time when? And for the hoose. Oh, here's the pen. Love, Death in the Family destroys me every time. We'll reread it for next week. Excellent. That's your homework, folks. Death in the Family for next week. There you go. Thank you, sweetheart. Good to see you. Good to see you. Say love to the hubby. Ty Scott with the $5. I'm not a troll. I'm just mentally inept. Love you, Az. Oh, well, that's what trolls are, dude. Trolls are mentally inept, so it's all good. There you are. Boom. Thank you. Appreciate you, Ty. And JP with a 10 Canadian. A silverback in the flesh. Curious. Do you have a playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077? No. I did recently purchase it, and it is installed on the PC, but I haven't started a playthrough yet. But then CD Projekt Red came out with a "we're a bunch of fucking idiots" tweet the other day, and so I'm sort of like, ugh. Right, we're caught up, folks. It's time for me to go. But I will be setting up the Sunday Fun Day stream as soon as I finish this one. I'll be back in just under an hour. Sunday Fun Day. More spooky games. Labyrinth. And once we're dealt with Labyrinth, the Demonologist. 6 p.m. UK time, 50 minutes from now. Sunday Fun Day. QBG. Myself. X-Ray Girl, I think. And Kara. Kara Creates. Be back here in an hour's time, folks. Massive thank you to everyone who came to watch today. Thank you so much indeed. Mods, thank you for giving up your free time. I appreciate you so much. Everybody who super chatted, membered, remembered, thank you so much indeed for supporting the channel. Like I said, I'm going to be back in an hour. Until then, you take care. Bye, Baloo Boos.